Welcome to our webinar dedicated to the Dubai real estate market. In this webinar, we have gathered the topic on selection, top 3 locations for 2025, and in the minimal, average, and high budget, because there are many requests both in the minimal budget as well as in the average and premium segment, where the budget is accordingly over $1 million. Therefore, today there will be a lot of interesting information. There will be analytics. Briefly, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ali Bek. I am a licensed real estate specialist in the United Arab Emirates. I have over 4 years of experience working in town, Dubai. Our company is an international real estate agency that specializes in selecting and selling properties for our clients in more than 40 countries around the world. These include the United Arab Emirates, of course, and Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, the Gulf countries, Thailand, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, Turkey, European countries, and many other destinations. We are a full cycle agency. We not only select properties for our clients, but also provide complete legal support, let's say secure transaction support for our clients. We also help with furnishing, if necessary, whether it's the need for a property or to resell it. We often participate in various exhibitions and business breakfasts. We also engage in discussions on various information channels, such as Forbes and many others. Gradually, I would like to share information about the economic aspects in the Arab Emirates, which, in my opinion, forecast the most successful and stable growth since the end of the pandemic in 2021. The growth was prolonged and rapid, but it continues to show good numbers. The average growth in property value in Dubai shows a percentage from 10% depending on the location, and the average rental yield in percentage terms is a minimum of 6%, and it reaches a yield of 10-12% depending on the project, its location, and the infrastructure. And it is also well known that Dubai is a tax-free jurisdiction, so there are no taxes on rental income, for example, and no corporate tax. So additionally, the government of the Emirates also offers a residency option for investors from all over the world. There are 2 well-known options for obtaining residency when purchasing real estate. The first option, for a price starting from $205,000, which is 750,000 dirhams, you need to purchase a completed, already built real estate object, and then after that you can obtain a residency for 2 years. There is a second option, which is more, let's say, acceptable. For those who, let's say, do not visit the Emirates very often, maybe less frequently, like once a year, and do not need to renew residency every 2 years, can purchase real estate starting from 2 million dirhams, equivalent to $545,000, and obtain a residency for 10 years. The difference here is that, as I mentioned earlier, there is no need to visit the Emirates every 6 months. Unlike the 2-year visa, there is also the possibility to arrange residency for family members and for 2 service staff, such as a nanny or a driver. Additionally, the residency permit allows obtaining a driver's license in the Emirates, opening a bank account in the jurisdiction of Dubai and the Arab Emirate. And in general, without the Emirates ID, the so-called residency document, one can only stay for a limited time as a tourist. So according to the report for the year 2024 from well-known sources, I would like to provide information on the number of transactions that were conducted in 2024. The total number is 181,000 units of real estate, including both villas and apartments in the primary and secondary markets. And I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the growth in the number of units sold and the total volume amounts to 143 billion. This is equivalent to 27% higher compared to 2023. This indicates that demand is not just stabilizing, it continues to grow, particularly in Dubai, from clients all over the world. In this slide, I would like to share information about the top 5 areas. In Dubai, for several years now, we have held the first position, the Jumeirah Village Circle area. This is a well-known area for the mid-segment with diverse infrastructure, including parks, educational institutions, hospitals, and schools. A well-known area from which you can reach in literally 20-25 minutes to the same downtown business center and to the coastline. The second location is the business district. Business Bay holds a solid second position. The third position is the Wadi Al Safa area, which until recently was a popular area also in the mid-segment and is also known as Dubai Land. Why is it gaining volume in transactions? Because in the future, metro lines are planned to pass through there, which in turn will be a boost for increasing rental prices and real estate values overall. In this slide, I would like to show the ratio of transactions in the primary market and the secondary market with properties under construction. It indicates that 66% of properties under construction are being developed. It indicates that demand continues to grow for properties at the construction stage. Many investors enter at the construction stage for those who still value installment plans and post-installment plans. That is, there are programs where you can continue to pay in installments even after receiving the keys and the commissioning of the property or before renting it out EQ, and then from the rental income. You can cover the remaining installments on your property. So I also included this diagram. I would like to show the dynamics of demand for real estate in general and growth in monetary terms. Since the end of the pandemic, I wanted to highlight the rapid growth, and in 2024, it has also already exceeded the amount of 500 billion dirhams, which is equivalent to $143 billion in total transaction value. And I'm quite confident that the same trend will continue into 2025. Here, the diagram data on the price increase per square foot is also shown, indicating a steady rise since the end of 2020. I think by the end of 2025, the growth will reach 1,800 dirhams per square foot. Additionally, I would like to share some information about the luxury segment. It is known that many millionaires from around the world are transferring their assets here. Not all, but perhaps some of their assets are being diversified and cash is being accumulated. Here in the Emirates, they invest in real estate properties, mainly in the luxury segment. The luxury segment involves collaboration with various brands. These can be hotel brands, car brands, or even watch brands. A limited number of offers are released, but they are premium, unique, and in demand. And in this slide, show the top 5 most expensive deals that were made in 2024, which I would like to highlight here. In the first place, we have the Bayviews project. This is a penthouse from a well-known developer under a famous collaboration brand located on the beachfront. It was sold for $145 million, for example. Or the Dorchester Collection penthouse, which is located in the business district. Business Bay was also sold last year for almost $38 million. This segment is also very popular and in high demand. Here, I also noted 3 locations by the average cost per square meter. Maz Dubai is our Dubai Marina area. Business Bay is slightly more expensive by $300, around $6,800, $7,000 per square meter. And Al Barsha South, Dubai South area. Again, it implies a price increase in the coming years due to the development of this area. Here, there is also very interesting information about the population growth in Dubai. Specifically, data from 2020 shows that the population growth was 3.4 million people. As of today, the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, the growth has reached 3.8 million people. This indicates that many are moving here with their families, planning to build their future here. And based on the data regarding population growth, the Ministry of Migration has already taken action. In collaboration with the Land Department, they are determining the approximate amount of residential space that needs to be built year by year. Accordingly, they are providing specific quotas to developers, specifying the number of square meters they can build annually. This again confirms the fact that those projects that are being constructed and will be completed, they are already specifically prepared for those expats who are currently in Dubai. And this also confirms that there is no overbuilding. This is often a question as many projects are being developed. Who will live here? Believe me, there will be a housing shortage in Dubai for at least another 3 to 5 years. One of the main news items that was announced at the end of 2023 and construction that began in 2024, this is the third Blue Metro line, which, according to the development plan, by 2040, where 7 metro lines will be presented, will be developed, and there will be a circular line around the entire city of Dubai. Currently, the third stage is being developed, the Blue Line, which draws attention to those areas that no one previously considered. These are areas like Dubai and Silicon Oasis, for example, Academic City, the same Dubai land area, which we previously showed on the slide as already being in third place for transactions. Again, due to the fact that the metro line will pass through, it is expected to manipulate price growth by an average of 25% by completion. The completion of the Blue Line construction is planned for the year 2029. So another piece of news that came out just a couple of months ago, Dubai is developing and doing everything necessary for the comfortable living of tourists and expats. Another piece of news is the development of logistics and passenger transportation, because as is known, it is still underdeveloped with few buses running. In hard-to-reach areas, for example, there are 2 metro lines as of today, but development is progressing gradually from year to year. One of the news items is new rail buses that will operate in 3 areas, such as Al Karama, Al Barsha, and Deira. This is a government project that will be implemented in all the next few years. And in turn, it will again manipulate the rise in prices in these locations. I am sure that developers will also pay attention to these areas in the future. So an additional piece of news regarding the second most important airport after DXB Airport. This is Al Maktoum Airport. Last year, news was announced about injecting large investments amounting to $35 billion into the airport's expansion. The goal is to position this airport as a major global logistics center by 2050. It will also be a major logistics hub, currently there may be a desert around the airport, but major developers are announcing their projects, and in a few years there will be a significant increase in property values, which is already rising. On average, it has increased by about 15% in 2024, and this trend will not only continue but will grow year by year. Therefore, those who are considering something in the budget from $250,000 with the goal of multiplying investments and, in the future, for instance, reselling, I recommend paying attention to the Dubai South area, where the Al Maktoum Airport is already located and will be expanding in the coming year. So the news that came out literally a month and a half ago, announced by Sheikh Mohammed and his son Hamdan, the so-called Sheikh Afaza. So there will be a new eco-resort will be built on the territory of Zabil Park, not far from the world-famous Zabil complex, One Zabil, which made it into the Guinness Book of Records. Here, a multi-level park will be constructed, an eco-location where there will be mineral waters, unique recreational areas for visitors, for tourists, botanical islands, and much more. This, in turn, will also manipulate the price increase in this location, as well as in the area near the Museum of the Future, the so-called Jumeirah Garden City, where I will later tell you about the projects being announced there. And one of the latest news, also under the personal supervision of Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Hamdan, the Crown Prince of Dubai, is the development of the marine surface and the development of flora. The coastal areas of Dubai have been completely cleared of industrial locations, such as Maritime City. There is a large industrial zone there, including Port Rashid. All of this will be removed over time because due to the high demand for locations on the first line of the sea, they will also develop and build up these sites. Again, there are interesting offers with a budget of around $1 million for one-bedroom apartments. This project is a large-scale project that has already started in 2024, and over the course of 4 years, more than 20,000 specially designed reef modules will be installed in the waters of Dubai, which in turn will provide an impulse for cleaning the sea surface and increasing the ecosystem in the coastal zone of the Persian Gulf. This is a major project that I am more than sure is destined for success. Before introducing you to the top 3 projects with a minimal budget, I would like to inform you that if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer and provide additional information. If you want to receive an individual consultation, you can also send your details. We will contact you, and I will be happy to consult with you individually and answer all additional questions. So the first project that I included in this presentation is a project located in our Jumeirah area, Garden City. I would like to add that until recently, this area was actually impossible for foreigners to purchase real estate there. There was no freehold right there, meaning freehold is ownership for life, unlike many locations. But just recently, this land was transformed into full ownership for foreigners. And therefore, now a large number of major developers are focusing there, and you can purchase a studio, apartments with 1 or 2 bedrooms at quite affordable prices. For example, across the road, we have Sheikh Zayed Road. There is the DFC district, a well-known area with famous Michelin-branded restaurants, hotels, and large companies. This is a jurisdiction under patronage of the United Kingdom. For instance, property prices for one-bedroom apartments already start at around $700,000, $800,000. Across the road from the Museum of the Future, you can actually purchase an apartment at the construction stage, which is 30 to 40% or even 50% cheaper. However, during the construction period, a positive and rapid growth of this property is expected. Therefore, here I suggest considering properties starting from 1 million dirhams, which is $277,000, where you can pay 40% during the construction period and 60% upon completion by the end of 2026. It's a very interesting project with developers of impeccable reputation. So if needed, I can provide additional consultation on this project. The second project is located in the Dubai Land area, where the Blue Metro line will also be passing through. This area is in principle already developed, but again, the infrastructure continues to evolve. It is known for having a large number of higher education institutions and schools, about 17 of them, which is why it is in high demand among young people and students who rent or even purchase housing for themselves. Therefore, it makes sense to consider these options where developers offer luxurious real estate properties with fully completed infrastructure, finished interiors, and sometimes even fully furnished, right down to spoons and forks. And in this particular complex, for for example, which will be launched any day now. Studios start at $177,000 with installment plans available even after receiving the keys. As I mentioned, you can rent it out and, for example, cover the remaining 40% from the rental income. So our third project with the minimum budget is this one. Also, the project located in the Dubai Land area, specifically in the Silicon Oasis district, will have a metro line passing through. It's literally a 15-minute drive or even just 10 minutes straight from downtown business. A developing area currently and very affordable. Real estate. Purchase prices. You can buy a studio for as little as $218,000, but this studio can be reconfigured into a compact one-bedroom apartment according to the layout. This developer is known for offering a flexible payment schedule with an installment plan of 1% monthly and also a post-installment plan where after the project's completion in 2027, you can pay the remaining 30% of the apartment's cost over an additional 30 months by renting them out for long-term or short-term leases. A very interesting project, so I recommend paying attention to it. So let's move on to projects starting from $500,000. These are coastal zone locations. I would like to point out that Dubai already has a shortage of available plots located on the first coastline. The last two locations are Maritime City and the Dubai Islands. Artificial islands where in fact developers are currently focusing on the premium segment and offering very interesting options starting from this budget. The first project is apartments on the first line of the sea located in the Dubai Island area. This is oriented towards Dera, but there is a separate highway being constructed there, separate roads that will bypass the Dera area, and future traffic jams also in the center of Dubai Island. A large mall is being constructed. There will also be golf courses and entertainment centers. There is already a city beach functioning there, a beautiful beach with clean water, unlike many other locations. Therefore, many investors who are considering projects on the first line are looking at properties specifically in these locations, Dubai Island and Maritime City. Here, the developer also offers a flexible payment plan of 60 to 40. The properties are one bedroom, quite large at 81 square meters for almost $600,000. This is about the branded luxury segment and it will come fully furnished. The second property, which I also included in the presentation, is a very interesting offer due to the fact that not just a few residential complexes will be built there, but a small master plan. We comment that there will be parks. One of Dubai's large coastal parks will be developed there, where about 1 million trees will be planted with its own beach access, its own lagoons, separate promenades, restaurants, and a complete infrastructure on the peninsula. Maritime City, a very well-known developer with an impeccable reputation, is building, and they are releasing subsequent projects at a higher price, 5 to 10%, so it makes sense to consider these offers at this stage as future options will be more expensive. This is for those who are considering confirmed growth in real estate in the future. Well, you can also consider reselling 6 months to a year before completion and later for personal residence or for rental purposes. A flexible payment schedule of 50-50 is also offered here, where you pay 50% during the construction period and 50% upon completion in the first quarter of 2028. And our third project is also located on the Dubai Islands. This is on the second line from the sea, so the offer is cheaper by an average of $50,000. Starting from $530,000 for one-bedroom apartments, the same payment schedule of 60-40. The developer also has an impeccable reputation. There is everything necessary in the residential complex. The infrastructure typically includes a gym, outdoor pool, indoor pool, spa area, yoga area, co-working studio, clubhouses, a large lobby area, and much more. All properties are delivered with a finished interior. Some even furnish the property. Even if it is unfurnished, we can again assist you with furnishing it. Your future apartments or a townhouse or residence. And now we move on to projects starting from $1 million. Here, I have selected 3 current projects as of today. This is again a project in collaboration with a brand that is in demand among major investors and has great growth potential during the construction period. So our first project will be located in the Business Bay Canal area. It is literally a 10-minute walk from the beach, and it takes just 15 minutes to reach Business Bay and Dubai Mall. All the properties are located along the canal. This will be a luxury segment with a price tag starting from $1 million. And it is again in very high demand. Properties are sold in stages. Each subsequent stage is literally sold out, literally within a few hours. This is not science fiction. These are the realities of the Dubai market, where a property, even before construction begins, is already completely sold out. There might be literally just a couple of units left in the entire building. The developer offers a payment plan of 40 to 60, where you pay 40% during the construction period and 60% 60% upon completion in the second quarter of 2027. An excellent project specifically for those considering something unique for their own residence. The second project, one of my favorites to date, the location is called District 1. This is the first location with its own lagoon. It already exists and you can actually see it. It's a kind of beach pool located in the desert. And unlike, say, the summer season where it's quite difficult to swim in the Persian Gulf, here the water will be cooled, filtered, and will be just a few steps away from your home. District 1 is where a master community will be developed, an entire district, not just a few houses. And it is being developed by a state developer, Nakheel, which has accordingly an impeccable reputation. But here, the properties are slightly cheaper. I have again included them in the luxury segment because the construction uses high-class materials such as marble, travertine, and so on. Everything will be at the highest level, so it makes sense to consider this offer both for investment and possibly for personal use. Well, our third project was announced literally last week. This is a high-rise complex consisting of 46 floors, the first residences under the hotel, and a brand Chedi. This is a well-known brand from Southeast Asia, a hotel brand that has hotels all over the world. In particular, many hotels in the Middle East, such as Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Dubai, Sharjah. And the first residences in the world that will be built along Sheikh Zayed Road, not far from Dubai Marina, where you can enjoy beautiful views of the Arabian sunsets. This project, once again, offers a post-completion payment plan of 35% after the handover of the properties. And the installment plan will be for 30 months are provided for investors. Therefore, if someone is considering something unique for their own residence or perhaps even for resale, I recommend considering this option because compared to other offers in this segment, I haven't found anything cheaper than this offer, since at the very least, similar branded apartments with 2 bedrooms, let's say, at 300 square meters would already cost around $2 million. Well, we have basically reached the conclusion. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer them, and we'll go through and see what questions our viewers have. How to apply for a residence permit and how long will it take? There are many different formats for applying for a residence permit. The most common format is, of course, purchasing real estate. It is quite straightforward. We provide full support for the residence permit application process. This involves purchasing real estate, after which we submit the documents for review. After approval, it takes us a maximum of 2 weeks to complete all the document processing and obtain the desired Emirates ID. You only need to fly in for a checkup, a medical examination, and fingerprinting. This will also take a few days. How can I be sure that my investments are safe? How do you guarantee the security of payments? Since 2008, the Emirates, particularly Dubai, require all developers to register escrow accounts. Without an account, they are not allowed to sell properties. It is illegal. Therefore, we simply act as intermediaries, as advisors here. That is, we do not intersect in financial transactions. You directly transfer your funds to the developer's secure escrow account for the project where you are purchasing the property. This will all be specified in the contract, which you can sign either electronically or in hard copy. Therefore, once again, I would like to point out that the developer is interested in completing everything on time and not delaying the delivery of the property, because primarily he invests his own funds, which is 10-20% of the total project volume, registers an escrow account, begins construction, and then, according to the payments made by investors, he has the right to gradually withdraw from the account, from the escrow account, and continue construction. Everything here is interconnected, and he is motivated to complete the construction on time. Therefore, the transfer of funds through the bank from your account to the developer's account is completely transparent and safe. I think there are a couple of other questions we can answer individually. I hope this webinar was at least useful for you, and I would be happy to have a call and consult with you individually. That's basically it. Thank you for taking your time, and see you next time.